Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Rohana, we have the Brood War Zerg player, we have the SE2 Protoss, we have SHIN, and NightMare. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the Brood War Terran player, we have the SE2 Protoss. It is going to be SKillous and uThermal. Let's go. Let us go. Yeah, we have our Terran Protoss duo up against our Protoss and Zerg duo here. And once again, I did mention that I feel like NightMare might be a bit of a weak link. We'll see what occurs and we'll see what he relies upon. But NightMare has very limited experience with StarCraft Evolution. Bear that in mind. We'll see how he does handle himself. I would imagine that he will be playing and relying on SC2 the entire series. I would imagine. Meanwhile, uThermal, he is going for the early Raxes. We have one, we have two Raxes. Looks like we're going for the early stim timing. So early stim, early bio. You saw that Bjorn was often doing this off of an expand. He was going CC first, then the 3-Rax follow-up. Here, uThermal doesn't expand. No expansion, going for a 2-Rax opener into Academy, into stim, into early stim timing. Meanwhile, we'll see how Nikita is going to be aggressive, as he should be aggressive alongside his teammate. Going gate expand initially. Does go for the gate expand. As there's the Academy on the way. As we mentioned, it is going to be the Academy leading into stim. Show us what you got. Are going to be opening up. There's a Stargate opener out of NightMare. So opening up Stargate. SHIN getting his macro hatchery, going for early Hydras. Okay. So early Hydra play out of SHIN. NightMare's expansion is going to be delayed. Nice pylon block here from SKillous. Does block, does delay. Even going for the Cyber Core. Being very annoying. But the links will help out. Yeah, links will help. We'll force a cancel. And NightMare will eventually expand. There's that cancellation. Meanwhile, stim is almost done. uThermal is going for his push. Bearing in mind that there isn't really much to work with here. We have 2 Stalkers for Skillous. We have how many Marines in total? We have 9 Marines, 2 Medics. Sunken colonies are on the way. uThermal may avoid. Yeah, he does keep going. Wow, he stims in. He stims in. NightMare's in trouble. He's in trouble here. He's got 1 Oracle to defend. Army stims into the main. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Desperation here out of NightMare. Forcible the boys. Nice target firing on top of the Oracle. The Oracle goes down. Marines are going to be cleaned up, but not a bad trade for uThermal. Yeah, not a bad trade. Likewise, nice positioning with the Medic. Army gets cleaned up, and how many workers went down? 9. 9 pros went down, and the Oracle and the Stalker. NightMare, he's crippled. NightMare is being crippled here early on. He's stumbling out the gate. And we're building up into the follow-up. This time with U238 shells. Skillous taking up into his own Twilight Council in a blink, into 4 Gapeling Stalker. The pressure's on SHIN. SHIN doing what he can. Bleeding out a big chunk of Lings. Lings being punished. Government skills are building up. Went behind Dark Shrine. Let's go. It makes sense. NightMare going for his Twilight Council into Dark Shrine. There's a chance here that DTs can pop off. It's a later robo here by SKillous, but it's still on the way. We'll have detection. Likewise, scan's going to be available as well. As we do have those comsat stations on the way. Building into it. uThermal moves out. Skills likewise as well. Again, NightMare, he's still trying to recover, and the one way of doing so, at least for NightMare, I'm going to say, is to go into Dark Templar, but it's going to be a 1v2 for the most part. Shin, can he hold on? We have 3 Stalkers here in the battery for NightMare. First Sankahoni goes down. Does kite away, peeking away the Hydras. The Hydras are falling one after the other. There's the first stim. uThermal stims in, the Hydras are going down, and it looks like they've done it. Yeah, it looks like they have done it. Shin bleeds out every single Hydra. Ay, ay, ay. Shin is being broken, and NightMare as well. Ah, there's the Immortal, okay. Boys are being pulled, Immortal does pop. NightMare is holding. They're holding on, just barely. They do hold, they do defend. Looking at the worker counts here, what do we have to work with? We have SKillous. SKillous does have the work advantage over his opponents, over NightMare. Likewise, more CVs compared to drones from the side of the Terran and Zerg as well. Yeah, SKillous and uThermal, they still have momentum. They still have a massive army to work with. Again, Shin and NightMare, they held, which was impressive, but they're still barely treading water. They're still barely holding on. This expansion will fall. There's no saving this. Hatchery goes down. Brings down the hatchery. Containing NightMare and Shin. Being contained. Wait, I guess we have Lair Take Lurkers on the way. No, I guess. Morphing into a couple of Lurkers, Disruptors as well. The goal here should just be to expand. SKillous claiming his third base, DTs to get across the map, at the same time, third TC for uThermal. They're claiming their third bases, taking over the map, gaining more momentum. You notice the expand. They're moving in. Oh. And massive tank shots. Oh, Hydras are exposed. Oh no, the Hydras! Oh my god, it's a meat grinder. So many go down. Marines, they just bully back the Hydras. Lurkers, they get focused on as well. There's 1 lurker left. Sorry, 2 lurkers, 3 lurkers. Jesus. Down to 3. Down to 2. Just a handful of lurkers. Never goes up. Raising the army, another lurker goes down. Still minimal lurkers. Another lurker should fall here. Barely does. Down to 1? Yeah, down to 1 lurker. And tanks are pushing in. Yeah, the tanks are slowly bringing forward. They're forcing the fight out of Shin. Nova's going off, D's connections. Nova's are decent, but it's not enough. It's not enough, Pappy, not enough. Yeah, once again, the Hydras overextend. GG gets called, and uThermal and SKillous take game number 1. GG. GG will play. They claim lead in the series, winding it back here again. They were both hyper aggressive early on, going for the early stim timing and the early rush out of SKillous. And SHIN and NightMare were woefully underprepared. They were underprepared, and NightMare got bullied so hard this game, losing 9 probes at the beginning of the game, losing his Oracle as well. The Stargate opener was not worth it, and NightMare fell behind, and it turned into a 1v2. It turned into just SHIN versus uThermal and SKillous, and SHIN, because of that, was being overwhelmed, bleeding out so many Hydras, bleeding at his third base twice as well, 3 times even. SHIN, he could not hold on, and NightMare couldn't quite recover either. Went for a cheeky follow-up. He went for a Dark Templar, which had potential, but not good enough. And not good enough in the end. GG, well played, and with that, we're getting into our next game. Gonna be loading into game? No, we're not thus. Gonna be loading into Biodome. Oh, I wasn't sure if there were any unique maps added to this tournament map pool, but no, yeah, okay, we do. Interesting. We have a handful of Brood War maps. This is one of them. As spawning in the top right hand corner. I don't know if this is a Brood War map or if it's just like a newer like 2v2 map. But in the top right hand corner, we do have our pairing. We have our duo. We have the SE2 Zerg player. We have the StarCraft 2 Protoss. It was their pick, of course. They picked double SE2. It is NightMare and SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the double Brood War team. We have the red Terran, we have the blue Protoss. It is SKillous and uThermal. I think there's an SE2 map. Well, there you go. So it looks like this might just be an SE2 map that never made it to the ladder. Maybe it was one of like the TLMC maps that didn't quite make it through. That is my assumption. Here we go. Here we go. So it is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in a bottom right, top left, or top right. So we're looking for our opponents. We are scouting. As it is going to be Hatch Gas Pool. Hatch Gas Pool out of SHIN. Likewise, NightMare going for his own gate expand as well. But again, they do have the advantage of playing double Protoss. Once again, as we mentioned previously, this was loser's pick. A loser's pick here. So both SHIN and NightMare, they do choose to stick with double SE2, double StarCraft 2. Early Academy. Once again, stim timing out of uThermal. So very early sim timing. This is Academy before CC, before expansion, going into his 3-racks. So 3-rack stim, hyper committed play here by uThermal. 1 base all in essentially out of the red Terran. SKillous, how does he open up instead? 2 gates. 2 gates and Master Dragoon. Is this a full wall? It is. That's a little bit awkward. Airload is going to be denied. As we are massing up. Building up our armies. Is going to be a Robo Opener out of NightMare. Very safe play. Robo Opener into Defensive Immortals, Defensive Prism. Meanwhile, Hatch Gas Pool, Safety Spine Coolers on the way. SHIN, does he recognize what's going on exactly? Not quite. Does scout the 2 gates. The door's open. Oh, it's go time. Here we go. It is go time. Again, uThermal's all in. SKillous as well. SKillous does expand behind this, so he does have some kind of follow-up, but this is very committed. As stim is almost done in a couple of seconds. It's almost done. Committing in. Yeah, we have the Spine Cooler to defend. There's no Protoss units here. We only have the 1 sentry. Yeah, 1 sentry to hold. The queens are exposed. Losing 1, losing 2 queens already. Lings here to engage. That's a decent chunk of Lings. Getting on top of the Dragoons, and SHIN holds. Wow, SHIN does hold on. Cleans up all the Dragoons. Getting on top of the Pyre. And the all-in has failed. The all-in has failed. We do have Overlord Speed on the... Okay, no, it's cancelled. Cancels Overlord Speed. Going for the lair. Maybe it was a misclick. But a nice hold overall and minimal economic losses. So with that, SHIN does have the economic lead. Likewise, so does NightMare. SKillous now claiming his own expansion, and uThermal is late to take his natural. Oh boy, so again, uThermal and SKillous, they were hoping for more damage. They needed to achieve more across the map. They failed to do so. I think what was most impressive to me is that NightMare was a non-factor in that defense. Like, like NightMare, he had one sentry. He had one sentry, one battery. NightMare wasn't really helping too much. It's mainly SHIN. With that, it's going to be a shaky follow-up. Reaver production has begun for SKillous. Getting towards Reaver. At the same time, you have the double Immortal drop out of NightMare. Being active across the map. Spinning out, so we have shuttle speed on the way. Scanner reveals is going to be 2 base muta. Immortals they bust into the main. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pro kills. Immortals they just tank the scarab shot. Jesus. They just tank it back. Nice harass. Oh, uThermal, can he catch out the prism? He's hunting. Prism coming in from behind. Dragoons, they get a couple of shots off. Oof. Yeah, as Immortals, they trade well against the Dragoons. Force a recall. Oh no! Losing one Immortal! Yeah, losing one. The other does make it back home. uThermal SKillous, they commit. They try to commit across the map. Catching out Lings. Catching out Zerglings. Colossus has arrived. There's no blink. Oof, decent connections. Not bad. Connections are solid. Again, the reason why we're so committed here is that SHIN, he's going to mass muta, and the mutas that won't really help too much in the defense. They can try to dive on the shuttle. Oof. Oh, Reaver goes down. Miscontrol. Yeah, skills late to pick up. Late to control. Meanwhile, the mutalists are out. We have 9 mutas. Trying to catch reinforcements. That's the best option here. For SHIN. Getting some free tanks. Not bad. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 tanks go down. Does commit. Catching out free Marines. Wow, getting a 3rd tank as well. uThermal getting pulled apart. GG gets called, and with that, SHIN and NightMare, they tie up the series. GG. Wow. GG, well played. Again, they knew about the mutas. They knew about the Spire. They knew about the mutas. But last, uThermal and SKillous, they were hoping they could force defensive mutas instead, but no, they broke out across the map. They caught reinforcements. And GG. GG, well played. With that, the all-in failed. There was nothing at home to defend. And with that, we have a back and forth. We have a tied series here. We're going into game number 3. Let's go. Let us go. Jumping into game 3 here. We'll see who takes the lead in the series. Bearing in mind, it is Lucia's pick. What do we go for? As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Yellow Jackets, we have the teal Brood War Zerg player alongside the purple Brood War Protoss as well. Force into double Protoss. Aye, aye, aye. It is going to be NightMare and SHIN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the red Terran. We have the SC2 Terran, the SC2 Protoss. It is uThermal and SKillous. I wasn't sure if they would try to take advantage of this here, but they are going for it. They're going for it here. Remember, our last game, it was a double. Oh, we did have our double Protoss. So I keep saying double Protoss. We had double SC2 from both SHIN and NightMare in game number 2. Here in game 3 is double SC2 for uThermal and SKillous. So we have to give the advantage here to uThermal and SKillous. NightMare and SHIN are going to be struggling a little bit more. I believe this is the first time that NightMare is playing Brood War Protoss. First time. Oh boy. I mentioned earlier that NightMare is going to be a bit of a weak link here whenever he's forced to play Brood War. And I'm curious to see how he opens up. I'm curious. Meanwhile, 2-gate opener out of SKillous, already hyper aggression. Likewise, we do see uThermal going for an early stim timing. I don't think this is necessary, but I guess it makes sense. So a couple of things here. One base all in. One base all in from uThermal, one base all in from SKillous. We're going for all ins. I was going to say that I feel like they're going to be at the advantage going into the mid game here, playing double StarCraft 2. But at the same time, if NightMare is very inexperienced, same with SHIN, if they have less experience when it comes to playing Brood War, when it comes to playing defensive, especially in StarCraft Evolution, then going for these all-ins can work wonders. But it's risky. It's very, very risky here. Again, 3 racks mass Reaper out of uThermal. 2-gate opener double Adept out of SKillous. And we're rallying across. Yep, here we go. Proxy 2-gate. Sorry, Proxy Gateway and a Proxy Robo. Remember, it's just one base all-ins. Gonna be a Dragoon opener here out of NightMare. Likewise, SHIN going into link speed. Staying in gas. But I am concerned. I'm worried here for SHIN and NightMare. They just don't know what's going on. They're still in the dark. They didn't scout the main. They have no idea. They didn't even see the additional gateways. Didn't see the gates. Didn't see the Raxes. SHIN going for a forward third. Oh god. Oh god. Tells us that he's not aware. He's going Evo Chamber first as well. That will not help. Yeah, as Reapers, they bust into the main, Adepts into the natural. So far, decent pickups. Proxy Immortal. Proxy Immortal's out. We're still massing on more Reapers. As uThermal, he rotates. He does rotate over. On the high ground, we have one battery. Lings just trying to engage. Mass Reaper. Yeah, Mass Reaper does punish his Ducklings. No, now they know. Yeah, now they know the all-in is coming. Pylon goes down. Spine Coolers are on the way. It takes a long time to build up those sunken colonies, though. And they're overwhelming. Yeah, with that SKillous and uThermal, they do overwhelm. They're getting on top of the battery. They zone away the Dragoons. We still need more time for the colonies. Still needs more time. Lings are coming from behind though. Okay. Yeah, they come in from behind. They do cause a distraction. Colonies are finishing. Can SHIN hold on? Can he hold that? As the army's moving in. Yeah, we're collapsing forward. Lings are coming for the surround. Yeah, they try to come in for the surround here. They do get on top of the Stalkers, getting one, getting two Stalkers. But the Immortals, they just overwhelm. Yeah, there's just so many here. We have the second Immortal pushing forward. I say that, we have a lot of batteries. We have those colonies as well. It's close. It's still close. NightMare's holding on. Lings are for the counterattack. No shot. No shot. They're holding. And behind this, SHIN is on 3 bases. SHIN, he's on 3 expansions. He's still flooding across the map. NightMare, he's on 2 bases himself. They're holding. The all-in is running out of steam. We're getting a little bit ambitious. Yeah, Dragoons are getting punished. Gonna be zoned away. Lane counterattack doesn't do much damage. Skillous drops into the main. Two adepts taking one-shot probes. They don't line up their shots. They're not lined up. But again, NightMare and SHIN, they're stabilizing. They're stabilizing. They're saturating. They're getting further ahead. Remember, Skillous has no expansion, by the way. Skillous is completely all in. The Mass Reaper, somewhat trading. Shaving off a good chunk of Lings. Lings going down, collapsing further in. Oof. Hydras are exposed. The Mass Reaper overwhelms the Ling Hydra. Oh my god. Mass Reaper, they win the fight against Ling Hydra. No shot. Yeah, SHIN can't hold his own. The colony is late. At the same time, Immortals, they bust in. And they're doing it. They're still pulling it off. It is a delayed all-in. It's taken a long time to really get going. It was very close, very clutch. But Skillous and uThermal, they're doing it. They're doing it. I expect to see it all. One Immortal goes down. Two left. God, those Immortals, they do so much here behind this. So much damage on the Dragoons. Boys are being pulled into Mass Reaper. We're running out of Reapers. Shuttle goes down. Okay. Prism gets sniped. Can the Dragoons, can they get on top of the Immortals? Shields are triggered. Gets one. One Immortal left. Automass barely gets it as well. Immortal goes down. Purely Reapers remaining. And NightMare and SHIN, they're holding on. They're holding on. I say that looks like the boys are pulled. Yeah, the boys are pulled. A lot of drones, they go down for SHIN. SHIN stuck on low drone counts. uThermal's got a proper economy. Third CC is on the way. I'm sure at this point uThermal can just be feeding Skillous. Like Skillous, he's down and out. Like Skillous, he's got nothing. Skillous, he's down and out. But the Mass Reaper's still a problem. Yeah, no shot. Mass Reaper wins this fight, by the way. Like, Mass Reaper's crazy. Bullying back the Hydras. Non-stop KDA charges. Non-stop. SHIN loses third. Shows the Scarab shot. Up! Oof. Shot goes off, gets a Reaper. Takes down one. Skillous finally expands, and again, can uThermal feed Skillous? Can he feed him and help him recover? Because uThermal's got an economy. He's got a third. That's more than I can say for SHIN and NightMare. SHIN and NightMare, they're still stuck on two bases each. SHIN especially with the limited economy. uThermal, he commits. Oh no, the Hydras! Yeah, he goes in. He does keep it in here, and so many Hydras going to be going down. Completely resets the Hydra counts. Oh my god, the Hydras are so fragile. Mass Reaper shuts him down completely. Cashing out Dragoons. Mass Reaper's crazy. Oh my god. He can't be stopped, Pappy. He can't be stopped. The Mass Reaper. We're clowning, Pappy. We're clowning. He rakes through, busts into the main. Finally, this will be cleaned up. Finally, the Reapers are going down. But behind this, uThermal transitioning. Stim is on the way. Bio's on the way as well. It is going to be that Bio transition. uThermal, he is the furthest ahead compared to any other player just because of his economy. Skillous is still struggling, but likewise, so is SHIN and NightMare. Like SHIN and NightMare, they're still also trying to recover. We're getting messy. Very messy. The one base all-ins didn't kill, but I would say that they did cripple. Did cripple SHIN and NightMare. More Reapers massing up. As Reavers, they drop in. As Reavers, they do bust into the bases. Bust into the mineral line. So far, catching us some more workers. I mean, finally, the Reaper count is going to be reset. But I mean, they more than pay for themselves this game. They were able to hold their own. Meanwhile, SKillous still recovering. SKillous behind this going to his own Archon production. Interesting. Yeah, Charger Archon. Attempted Charger Archon out of SKillous. He's got this army. He's got 2 Stalkers, 1 Archon, 1 Immortal. Again, barely a supportive army here for SKillous. It's mainly uThermal holding his own. Can he 1v2 though? Can he do it? So we have the Queen's Nest on the way. Building up to the Queen's Nest. Oof. Decent Scarab shots. Thermal breaking out. Again, SKillous, he does have some reinforcements to help out. There's a handful of them. He's helping in his own way. SKillous does overextend. Losing the early Archon. Immortal taking a lot of hits as well. Thermal sims in. And he tries to stim forward. Trading well. Behind this, no splash damage outside of the Reavers. Reavers were so heavily reliant on those Scarab shots. If they don't connect with the bio, then uThermal can just stim and win. Your Queens are on the way. Oh, the Zell drop into the main. Zell warping in towards the natural. Critical damage. Shin is distracted. Zell's still distracting. uThermal rotates. Rotates to the center. Again, there's no Reavers in position. This expansion is going to go down. Oh no! The Reavers. They can't engage. They're trying. Oh my god. Shuttle's being forced back. So many Hydras going to be going down. And uThermal, he is holding his own here. Again, the Hydras, they just have no supportive units, whether it's Queens, whether it's Lurkers, Defilers. GG gets called. GG gets called, and with that uThermal and SKillous, they will finally claim game number 3. GG. Whew. GG, well played. They'll take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Again, uThermal and SKillous, they achieved so much with their initial 1-base all-ins, but they barely didn't kill. They may not have killed, but they did gain a massive lead, right? Both SHIN and NightMare, they were both crippled. They were both struggling. So was SKillous. It was uThermal that had a booming economy. He was on 3 bases. He had double the army supply of any other player out there as well, and with that, they did overwhelm. The one thing keeping NightMare and SHIN alive were the Reaver shots, the Scarab shots, but again, they were being out-positioned, and they couldn't quite keep up. SHIN himself, he was unable to really take up into Lurkers or Queens. He was heading in that direction, but he needed more time. Did need more time. With that, GG well played. With that, we're loading into our next game. It is going to be up to SHIN and NightMare. It's their pick. It's going to be their pick moving forward. Up next, we have Rust Bucket, and we'll see if they go double Protoss. We'll see. So I keep saying double Protoss. Double StarCraft 2. I don't know why I associate that with Protoss. I thought I smoked. SSC2 at the moment, might be true. Spawning in the top left-hand corner. Wait, what? Okay. Spawning in the top left-hand corner. Yep, here we go. We have the teal Zerg player. We have the purple Protoss, SE2 Protoss, SE2 Zerg, Team SE2. It is going to be SHIN and NightMare. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the double Brood War team. It is going to be uThermal and SKillous. Let's go. Let us go. It is going to be team at double Brood War. Once again, last game we had uThermal and SKillous playing double StarCraft 2, and they had the advantage. Here, I would say that NightMare and SHIN have the advantage for playing double StarCraft 2 instead. Oh boy. They have that advantage. They're going to need it as well to make it to the ace match. Currently, it's 2-1 in favor of uThermal and SKillous. They do have the advantage. We'll see if they can go all the way. For now, 2 racks. 2 racks opener out of uThermal. Are we going for a 1-base all-in again? Are we going for 2 racks into the academy into the 3rd racks? I would say the answer is yes. I would say yeah, high chance it's going to be an all-in. Welcome to Rust Buckets. Rust Bucket does have a shared natural expansion. There is an alternate way into the natural, but it's walled off by rocks, so that most likely will not come into play. Rax is now done, and we're waiting for the academy. Oh, for now we're just setting up. So 2 racks opener into the CC on the low grounds. No gas is being taken. Interesting. You have my attention. So my apologies, I just assumed the gases were going to be taken, but the answer is no. The gases are delayed, so we have a more economic build. Likewise, SKillous going for the pocket base. There is that pocket expansion. And we're building up into the mid game, or into the early game, specifically. Building up into the early game. We are going to be opening up. Robo open out of NightMare. Meanwhile, we do have a bit of a 2-1-1 setup out of it. Oh, not a 2-on-1. We're switching into mech. Okay, so 2 racks opener into double factory into mech. So uThermal's going to mech it up. And for the first time this series, we're actually building up into the mid game. I mentioned previously here, but every game so far in this series has been non-stop all-ins, non-stop hyper-aggression. But here, we're slowing things down. We're slowing things down. Now, it is going to be a very fast. That's like 320. No, that is like, what, a 310? A 3-minute lair timing? Crazy early lair timing here at SHIN. So early lair, link speed is still being researched, gases are on the way. Are we going into 2-base Muta? It's feeling like Mutas. Likewise, Robo opener into the later Twilight Council, just safer play by NightMare. It does feel like Nikita is going for his own Reaver drop. A 3rd Nexus? What the hell? I was about to say that the Robo feels really late, and it is. So late Robo, very fast 3rd base, hyper greed out of SKillous going up to 3 Nexus. Before tech. Hyper greed. Now, a couple of things here. So SKillous is being hyper greedy. We do see uThermal going for the mech transition into a 3rd TC. We're both building up into the mid game, both SKillous and uThermal. Meanwhile, we have SHIN who's being hyper greedy and rushing into Muta play, and he should not be punished. The scariest thing with going into 2-base lair is that you are vulnerable early on, but because uThermal and SKillous are so busy being hyper greedy in their own way, it means that there's no punish for the Spire. No punish, and so far no scouting either. So I do favor SHIN and NightMare coming into the mid game. So far at least. Scan into the main base, doesn't see anything. Scan into the pocket expansion. No scan here at the natural. Oof. For all they know, it could be Hydras, it could be Spire. Still in the dark. Without the armory, there's no Goliath production. The armory is now done. We need some safety Goliaths. Yeah, vultures are denied. I don't see any anti-air here for uThermal. Here come the mutas. Valkyrie. Okay, he's going for a blind Valkyrie. That will help. Valkyries have a lot of splash damage. But how many will uThermal have? Yeah, scan once again to the main base. Doesn't see anything. Second Valkyrie's in production. And here come the mutas. The mutas, they make their way into the bases. They're heading into the main base of SKillous. Probe's going to be going down. Dragoons have a hard time keeping up. Oof, it's getting out of hand. Yeah, so far 13. 13 probes going down. Stalkers, they do hit the forward base. Yeah, Skype Shot does connect. More probes going down. Skills being bullied. Valkyrie's on its own. Yeah, just one Valkyrie. Only the one. Valkyrie barely goes down. Ooh, SHIN gets punished. He gets punished for overcommitting. SHIN does overcommit. Behind this, switching into Hydra production. These mutas did pay for themselves, but a little bit wasteful towards the end. Yeah, a little bit wasteful. Has to pull away. Another mutalist falls. Do you see uThermal trying to push out? Tries to move out. So do you see NightMare diving into the natural? Picks off the Reaver. Mutas into the third. And uThermal's being pulled apart. Yeah, it's just being pulled apart here, losing more SCVs. Not too many though, just 2. It's 33 probe kills though. SKillous is struggling. As being forced to counterattack. Stalkers, they dive in. They catch out the shuttle. Oh, yeah, shuttle goes down. And at this point, it does feel like SEALs and uThermal, they're forced into the all-in. They're forced to just commit across the map. As more C's are falling. And we're just setting it. It's all or nothing. At this point, uThermal and SKillous, they just giving up on defending. They commit across the map. Nice force field, slowing this down. But we gotta respect the tanks. That's a lot of tanks. Yeah, so many tanks at the same time. Lings, they flood in. No, the wall's not a wall. Yeah, the wall is wide open. Muta's overwhelmed. Looks like NightMare who loses third, but at the same time, Lings, they bust into the main. They flood into the main base. They flood into the pockets. Mutas are being cleaned up. The mass repair on the Valkyrie is too good. Mass repair. Oh, the whole position micro. Okay. Nicely done. Nice whole position micro. SKillous, he's holding on. Here comes the main army. Charge, let's take it on top of the tanks. Oof. Yeah, even forcing friendly fire. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks going. 5. Oh my god. 5 tanks going down. Zealous, they put a lot of work. And with that, we get a full surround. We get a full surround. SHIN collapsing in with his mass-laying Hydra. Again, mutas are only harassing. You hit the real army. He was Hydras instead. And SHIN and NightMare, they're overwhelming. They're just overwhelming the army. They have all the momentum. And they're looking to force the ace match. Here they come. Hydras, they start step forward. They catch out the shuttle. Shuttle goes down. Archons as well. And again, even though we had Hyper Greed out of uThermal and SKillous, they got punished. They got punished in the end by the mutas, by the Stalker aggression. GG gets called, and we are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game number 5. It all ends here. It all will end in our final game on New Bed of Chaos. Winding it back here again, we saw that both uThermal and SKillous were being hyper greedy, but they were punished. In the end, they failed to scout. They failed to confirm that mutas were on the way. So SHIN, he hit his spire, he hit his lair, was able to rush into muta play unscouted. And likewise, we saw NightMare also keeping up with aggression with Blink Stalkers. Able to join him. Was able to join. Let's go. As we are loading into game number 5, the ace match here, the final game of the series, and spawning in the top left hand corner of a New Bed of Chaos, we have the duo here. Okay, we have the teal Zerg player, the Brood War Zerg, alongside the SE2 Protoss. It is NightMare and SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player, we have the SE2 Protoss, it is SKillous and uThermal. And we almost got mid-game, or I mean, I guess we did last game. For the most part, like uThermal and SKillous were building up into a greater mid-game setup, but they were denied that. So they were denied that by the mutas, by the Blink Stalker aggression. Eventually they were forced into the all-in. And they were shut down. Were shut down in the end. Again, now we're getting into our next game, into the ace match. Here we're walling up here outside of the expansions. We do have a shared main and a shared natural available, so shared bases. We have a pretty solid 2-base setup. Production's going to be somewhat exposed. We have SHIN going hatch before pool, so a very greedy build here by SHIN. Likewise, NightMare going gate expand. Once again, we're building up. We are going to be building up. Building it back at home, claiming our own natural. From here, we'll see kind of the direction that we tech in. uThermal still has the option to go into mech, for example, to go into double factory, into mass vulture production. We'll see if he does embrace that kind of style. We'll see if he goes for it. Likewise, we have SHIN and NightMare also being greedy in their own way. Getting into a pretty tame early game. There's that first factory for uThermal, so that he's not going for an early stem timing. Going double factory into mech. Okay, so uThermal's going to make it up. But meanwhile, we do have a very fast lair to SHIN. Jesus, fast lair, early Evo chamber. This looks like the build that Solo went for when he played with Björn. Never mind. Okay, cancels. I was curious if it was going to be a real Evo chamber, but no, it's a fake Evo chamber. Going for the faster layer. Are we going into mutas again? Do we go into muta play? Bearing in mind that you don't need a layer for Hydra tech, so higher chance is going to be mutas. Likewise, NightMare also getting to his own Twilight Council into Blink. Blink-based opener out of NightMare. Oh, okay, we do have a Hydroden on the way. So SHIN does throw down his Hydroden. Is this for show or is it real? Checking the vision here, Hydroden was not scouted, so it looks like this might be for fast lurkers. Interesting. Getting into the Evo chamber a little bit later. Have my attention. Fast +1 air attack is on the way. We're going to, sorry, my apologies, I missed this. Double Stargate Mass Phoenix. Mass Phoenix out of SKillous. Mass Vulture out of our Terran player, out of uThermal. So Mass Vulture Phoenix going to be up against Mass Hydra and Blink Stalkers. It's going to be a lot of anti-air. It's going to be a lot of anti-air here.
Our forces are under attack.
Mass Phoenixes are revealed. Overlords are being hunted down. So building up that Hydra count. I'll say that against the style, either we're gonna be going for a very strong like 3-base timing attack, or we should be taking up in towards Defilers. One or the other. Minefield's being cleaned up. Shout out to the Overlord. Yo, we're going for some Hydra drops. For now, we're sharking around. Bearing in mind that Overlords are detectors. Are detectors. More Hydras amassing. There's that Queen's Nest on the way. I'm not too fond of the idea of going into Queens just because they should be punished by the Phoenixes. It'll be harder to pull them off. Oof. Hydras are punished. NightMare and SHIN trying to engage. Tempest production has begun. As blink in, he's crazy. Yeah, blinks in, does get a tank. Tank goes down, nice catch on the Phoenix. Ooh, and uThermal's out of position. Yeah, uThermal's out of position, pushing into the Concave, into the Mass Stalker Hydra. Vultures are punished. They're throwing down a minefield, but the minefield doesn't matter here. We can just avoid the tanks. Yeah, we can avoid them completely. And uThermal, he was just completely caught out of position. The pants were down. Army does bypass uThermal, heading straight into the main. And that might just be game. Like, this is crazy. So many SCVs going to be going down. Cashing out all the workers. We can see uThermal trying to go for the counterattack. Tempest getting caught out. Losing one Tempest already. Oof. Yeah, the Phoenixes are being thrown away. The Vultures are being thrown away as well. And with that, we do not get into a longer back and forth game. We almost got into the mid game, but not quite. Skillous is being torn apart. Oof, we have a handful of tanks. They both get focused down. As well, 5 Vultures remaining. Hydra still rallying in. Tempest, they have no support. Also blink. He blinks in. He gets one. There's one Tempest left. Uno más, Batty. Uno más. And GG gets called with that uThermal is broken. So is Skillous, and NightMare and SHIN will advance on into the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played, congratulations, NightMare and SHIN. They will advance on, they will claim the series. Again, it looked like uThermal and Skillous were going to be able to force a longer game. They were holding, they were defending, they were building up into mech, building up into Sky Toss, but one wrong move, uThermal was completely out of position. There was a massive opening leading directly into the natural, and it was open. It was left open. In the end, we saw that both SHIN and NightMare that went straight through the middle, straight through the center, straight down mid, up into the natural, and then GG. Just out positioning both the Terran and Protoss opponents. And with that, they claim the series. They're making it all the way to the grand finals here. It's going to be a best of five between Beyond Solar up against SHIN and NightMare. Let's go. We're going to be cutting to a break. We're going to be cutting to a short break here, and when we come back, we will have our grand finals. It's going to be a best of five Korean finals. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon.